The former Prime Minister says Jeremy Corbyn has vacated the centre ground to the Tories by pursuing policies that are a mixture of fantasy and error. Labour's drift to the left has created a one-party state in the UK, Tony Blair claims today. The former Prime Minister says Jeremy Corbyn has vacated the centre ground to the Tories by pursuing policies that are a mixture of fantasy and error. In an interview with Esquire magazine, he says something is seriously wrong that the unelected Theresa May is allowed to run the country unchallenged. In the UK at the moment you've got a one-party state. When you put it all together, taking into account that the Conservative leader wasn't elected, there's something seriously wrong, he says. He adds, frankly, it's a tragedy for British politics if the choice before the country is a Conservative government going for a hard Brexit and an ultra-left Labour Party that believes in a set of policies that takes us back to the 60s. Mr. Blair says Labour is now split between those who want an elected Labour government and followers of Mr. Corbyn who believe the action on the street is as important as the action in Parliament. He says the takeover of the party by Mr. Corbyn and his allies is a huge problem because they live in a world that is very, very remote from the way that broad mass of people really think. The reason why the position of these guys is not one that will appeal to an electorate is not because they're too left, or because they're too principled. It's because they're too wrong. The reason their policies shouldn't be supported isn't because they're wildly radical, it's because they're not. They don't work. They're actually a form of conservatism. This is the point about them. What they are offering is a mixture of fantasy and error, he says. The three-time election winner admits it will be a challenge for Labour to win back the centre ground from the Tories. There's been a huge reaction against the politics I represent. But I think it's too soon to say the centre has been defeated. Ultimately I don't think it will. I think it will succeed again. The centre ground is in retreat. This is our challenge. We've got to rise to that challenge, he says. Defeated Labour leadership contender Owen Smith also warned Labour needed to move to the centre if it wanted to win again. In his first interview since his thumping defeat, he said, "The truth is that politics is fought and won in the centre ground and Labour needs to be a centre-left party and I don't think at the moment we're being perceived as that in the country, and that was the core argument I made throughout this summer." Mr. Smith confirmed he would not be returning to Mr. Corbyn's shadow cabinet. The Labour leader is expected to announce a new frontbench lineup in the next few days. But he said the party must now come back together to take on the Conservatives. And he dismissed Mrs. May's claim she would fight injustice and inequality as synthetic. "I think it's now time for us to unite and get back to fighting the Tories and presenting a real, sincere version of the synthetic rhetoric-filled vision we heard from Theresa May yesterday," he told the BBC's Today programme.